Sammy, I think you are a bad deck builder. I unironically think that you're really bad at deck building. You want to know why I think you're really bad? It's because you keep putting free Evelynns in every tech, and then you have the audacity to go like, oh, I need more Bone Skewer too. Like, yeah, shut up. Hello, welcome to Recall To Base, a show where we talk about all things Riftbound. I'm Nathan.
I'm Samuel. And welcome, guys, to Season 2 of Recall To Base. Woo! Yeah, we're doing it in set release order. So, like, Season 1 was Spirit Forge, because that's when we started. Season 2 is Unleashed.
Yeah, so we're just gonna recycle a new season comes out every new.
And things will be ever so slightly different. For example, I'm on this side now. It's just little things to like gaslight you into thinking is the same, but then secretly we're making you go crazy.
we're starting gaslight people in Season 2. Oh my god.
Yes.
Right. But what are we talking about this week, Sammy?
So there's quite a lot of things to talk about, actually. So Sydney and the other Chinese tournament, the name is Chengyan?
Chinese tournament happened.
Yeah, they happened this weekend. Two big regionals with a lot of focus and overall shock value attached to them, just because they're regional. So I want to talk a little bit about that, and just more general how the Unleashed meta is turning out.
Yeah, because what's it called? These
Shenzhou regional,
yeah. But I was gonna say these regionals really paint a picture as to what people think about playing, as well as how people can rank the meta. Because, to be fair, we'll go more into detail in just a moment, but, the idea of, certain decks are really popular, but those decks aren't actually performing very well, and, vice versa. Some decks that don't look really good are actually performing really, really well. So we're going to just see what's it called? We're going to just see how it all went down. So yeah. So how do you want to start this off? Because you set up everything this week. Because I'm a lazy bum.
Other than just the regionals, I also wanted to talk about some surprising cards that were performing really well in these tournaments. We'll get to what those are in a minute. But let's just start with Sydney, the big Western regional. So
yes.
Odd to say that is Western considering it happened in Australia. But anyway, the Western regional, which let's just get straight onto the top 8, which was, do you know it off the top of your head?
Oh, I do actually. It was 2 Diana, 2 Irelia, 1 Vex, 1 LeBlanc, and 1 Teemo, which is very, very surprising because we haven't seen a Teemo since Origin days.
Also, this doesn't look right, but it says there was a 9th place Lucian. That doesn't look right.
That's wrong. That's wrong. 100%. Lucian got no equipment, got no tools. Let's be honest.
So it wasn't this tournament. Yeah. Quickly. Yeah. It was 2 Irelias, 1 LeBlanc.
Yeah. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, an Irelia took it home in the last match against Sivir.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
I watched some of the coverage of that Sivir player. He looked like the guy. He was
Aurora though.
He sold out. I think his name is.
But it was Aurora though, wasn't it? I swear it was Aurora.
Yo, no, 100%.
Yeah. The real question I want to know, if you remember, was it on the Mind Split tech? Because I'm really curious as to I don't know much about Aurora, even though I played against it a little bit time as well. Is the pure Aurora Elder Dragon deck the standard now? Yes. Or is it the mixture of Elder Dragon and Mind Splitters? You can get either or is it just pure Elder Dragon now?
It's Elder Dragons and Mind Splitters, and I think they had a tech to bring something else in, but I think because
I remember that they put Mind Splitters in the sideboard for game 2s and 3s, but I don't know if I believe it was just Elder Dragons all the way, which sounds crazy to me. Do you think it's kind of nuts that just you can just put Elder Dragon in a deck and it's orange and you're like, oh, I got my deck done? Because if I'm not mistaken as well, Aurora was the most represented deck. As well, right?
No, the most represented deck was LeBlanc.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was most represented deck. I think Aurora, maybe if you put all the legends together, which I think is
all the orange,
Poppy,
Poppy, Master Yi.
The number 1 Fiora was a thingy as well.
Set to could be
not Master Yi. Master Yi is mid range, at least the most successful.
Yeah, but any orange deck could potentially be Aurora. But LeBlanc being top is crazy. Do you know how many people were playing it?
LeBlanc was, on day 1, it was 88 people, 7.1% of the field. The day 2 conversion, or the day 2 players, was 18% of people who made it to day 2. That was the number of people on LeBlanc. Number of people who were on Master Yi day 2 was 32%. Irelia was 26.9%. Then it went Diana, Vex, Sivir. I think Sivir is the first big percent
it was
dedicated.
Wasn't it 37 or something crazy?
Yeah, it was 30.
which is a nut number.
That's the percentage conversion rate for the people playing Severe was 37.5 people. Like
overall
of the people playing Severe.
Oh, I thought you meant like...
So like a bit more than a third of the players who came in to play Severe Aurora made it to day 2.
Yeah.
So they're pretty insane stats.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think, like, the thing that, like, strikes out to me is the fact that, like, LeBlanc being the most popular deck only being at 7% of the entire meta is crazy to think about.
Yeah. Also, because we're, a little quirky off-meta guys, there was one Lux who made it to day 2, one Lee Sin who made it to day 2, one Yasuo who made it to day 2, one XBE, 2 Jinxes, 2 Volleys, 2 Dariuses. Oh, sad number of volleys.
Sammy, you have spoiled the, like, little, like, I'm a niche player because you went 180, 100%. So you cannot beat this argument, bro. Like, I'm a niche player, I play Darius.
I'll never beat the allegations.
And then you know what's even worse, by the way? The worst thing you did was you were like, oh, Draven's cool, I'm gonna do it for the tournament, and then you stuck with it.
I didn't stick with it. I played it.
No.
I played it like 3 more times because I wanted to try the Unleashed cards, but I'm on Pike and I'm on Volibear. Those are my two paper decks.
But there was a week straight of you for context. We had a locals last week. There was a locals last week. You kept going on about, I might play Draven in this tournament. I might play Draven in this set. Bro,
I said I might, not that I would.
But then you're like,
also. Fuck you, Draven is off meta now.
No,
do you know how many Draven players? Do you
know
how many Draven players made it to day 2 in Sydney? 5.
5
Draven players.
Do you think it's just because people were bored, like of Draven? I think it's just because people are bored.
Let me go close some doors and get my cat outside. Entertain the folks.
Yeah, your cat is using my feet like a little like stretch pole, which is really fun.
She's a little snacky.
There you go.
Delicious tootsies.
But no, you straight up just went like became like a
meta slit.
Yeah, you went
I'm not that bad.
No, you were.
Anyway, let's.
You literally went from Darius to fucking Draven. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
Sometimes winning is fun. Let's go over the top 8. Let's go over the top 8.
Yeah.
So sold out on Sivir, the only Sivir player in top 8, 12-1 record. The tech was Aurora. Let me scroll down see if I can.
It was Aurora Elder Dragon.
Oh, here it is. It was on 3 units. No, sorry, 5 units, including the champion Sivir, purple Sivir. It was on 1 Mind Splitter, 3 Elders, and the rest is just interaction and ways to find Aurora, which is pretty interesting. The battlefields were the typical, like, slow down the game, like, aspirants, the thing where you have to pay a power recycle a rune when you conquer, and the one that says you can't score until turn 3.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean,
those are the typical, like, I want the game to be long battlefields.
Yeah, I mean, like, ultimately their deck is just like get to turn 4 and then hopefully win from there, and then like.
And sometimes I was watching the game against Alan ZQ, and sometimes the deck does just win on turn 4.
Yeah.
I was watching, so Alan ZQ, big Ezreal player, he switched to Diana. He was also in the top 8. His record was 12-2.
Oh, he was the Diana player.
Yes, he was the one of them.
There was 2.
Nice Boy also made it 11-1-1. It was not competitive. It was the most one-sided 2 games in a row. It did not look competitive.
Did you have Aurora like turn 3 or something?
I mean, that's what he said in coverage. In coverage, he said sometimes you just have it. Sometimes the deck just kind of produces the win. But I think it's just that Diana, and by extent the purple-blue control decks in general, they just don't have it's kind of like Vex. They just don't have a good matchup into it because the tools that they have to answer it they're not. Yeah, they're not a lot of them. They have Starcross. That's basically all they have.
Starcross is the best one. They're not in green, so they don't have access to Not So Fast, which is like doesn't stop the whole Elder Dragon being a unit thing, but and his passive, but it does stop the initial damage, which is really, really important.
Yep. So Alan ZQ got thrashed. It was not close.
I'm really curious quickly though. Even though he did get thrashed, what type of Dana list he was on? Because I know Jacob.
He was on a lot of Vexes.
Obviously. I think like there was someone made a stat. I think like I could try.
And I mean all of them, by the way. I don't mean just 1 or 2. I mean like the old Vex and the purple new Vex.
Yeah.
3 Fizz, 2 Fizzes only. 1 Mind Splitter.
Was it a Hui variant?
Yes, 3 Huis. 1 Last Rites, which is interesting. 3 Frigid Jewels? Is that his list? That might have been Nice Boy's list.
Anyway, I feel like what's interesting to me, what I was going to say, sorry, was that I think Vex, I'll find the stats somewhere, but I believe Vex was the second most played unit. Because the first one was Thousand Tail, second was Purple Vex, and then the third one was the new All-Star Scuttle Crab. Can we just talk about how nuts that card is, man?
Yeah, turns out 2 mana cycle itself for no cost with a really, really useful death knell is crazy. Who gives a fuck if it has 0 power?
There's actually a cool thing where, like, I learned this the other day where
I know what you're gonna say.
like, what's it called? Is that if you swing with multiple units, they have to assign at least 1 damage to the skull crab to kill it.
Oh,
so
that's not what I was thinking.
no, because there's another
interesting.
thing I could say earlier, but later, but it was like you have to like assign at least 1 damage to kill the skull. So if you're going for a straight trade, you always, unless they have any pump spell or whatever, you just win. So
Scuttle kind of reads as having 1 might.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because like they have, even though it's 0 might, they still have to assign damage to it
that
to
makes
kill
sense.
it.
That's so weird.
Yeah, especially when you introduce things like tank units and stuff like that. It just gets like really specific.
Yeah.
But what I think, are you alluding to the fact that there was one time where they swung at me, realized that green they couldn't kill one of my units, and they had a skull there, so they decided to not kill my skull.
No, I mean, that's cool as well. But I'm actually alluding to the fact that the ruling with Death Knell and hidden cards, you can hide a Zhonya's. Then let the Scuttle Crab die so that you don't lose the Zhonya's for no value.
And in response
to the Death Knell, because you still control the battlefield, Zhonya's is still hidden. You can reveal the Zhonya's after the crab has died, so that you're like, cool, don't care.
You can do that with any unit, any Death Knell unit.
Any Death Knell unit, yeah.
If you're playing green and playing Death Knell for some reason.
But that is, it's just the crab. It's Scuttle. It's Scuttle. It's just Scuttle.
No, you can play Ivan Coffers. We're inventing a meta, boys.
Lonely Poro.
Lonely. Oh, or the.
It's not good.
No. Don't. No, what's is it? The Loyal Poro?
That's yellow.
Yeah. There you go. Loyal Poro. Draw you 2 cards.
Doesn't. Do not matter. But anyway, continuing on. There was one Irelia player that versed the top Vex player,
and they took it home.
Lost. There was 2 Irelias. The one that was playing against Vex lost.
Yeah. I think Vex is over. I remember people telling me like, "Oh, Irelia's not that bad of a matchup." It is.
I think it's because it depends on the player. I think it's like if you're trying to do the Irelia thing where you're just equipping it, go fast, try to like give her haste effectively, it doesn't work. But the strength of Irelia is that she's very like good at avoiding combats, so you can just play her to base, do whatever, and then only go into a battlefield when you know you're gonna win after your hand is really stacked.
But the problem with that mentality is that you're not taking a battlefield early lets the Vex player draw cards. As well as that, their interaction is stun Irelia. They play defect every week, and then they stun it, and then like, I move it to the other battlefield. Okay, that does nothing.
Looking at the top of the first 4 players of the top 8, it's looking like we would have had a very different winner had Vex not matched into the Severe on the semifinals.
True, actually, yeah.
If Vex got paired with like, let's say Teemo or LeBlanc even, they would have been probably able to win.
They would take it home.
And then they would verse the Irelia and they just like cook them.
What Vex was it though?
It was the hidden Vex.
Oh yeah,
the hidden Vex.
Yeah, like to go into detail about, I got sent this list and I don't remember it fully, but it was basically like it was on Ember Monk and it was like it was running a lot of their new hidden cards.
It was insane. It was 2 Ember Monks, 2 Kha'Zixes, 1 Pike, 3 Teemo, 2 Edge of Knights, 2 Treasure Hunters, because I guess you care about power when you're hiding cards. Makes sense.
Yeah.
3 Bombarosclaw Evelyns, 3 Mausers.
Evelyn's is crazy.
2 Sonas, and they have very little spells. They have 3 Emperor's Divide as well.
Yeah. Emperor's Divide is a card that I have it in sideboard right now, but I'm thinking about main decking it because Flash is just way too good.
And only 2 backoffs. They don't care. They're just like, fuck it. You're not gonna beat me in combat because I have 1,000 hidden cards. It's sick.
Yeah, I mean, like,
and only 1 Star-Crossed in the main deck, which is why they lost to Elder.
Yeah. I think this like Ember Monk tool thing is pretty good. Like, it's only really good purely because of the fact that people have to play around hidden. But then when you slowly realize that a lot of the hidden cards aren't very good. Yeah. They're not. Yeah. Like
some of them are.
Backoff is probably your best one. Evelyn is like. Evelyn, basically, like, what we found is Evelyn team is very much just most of the time is just a 2/2 unit. It's just a starter. It's like Tide Turner.
2/2 with backline.
Yeah.
Which sometimes is useful.
But the issue is that like you have to. What we found is that you have to be ahead and like in a somewhat. You have to like have a battlefield, protect the battlefield, and have a hidden Evelyn there. So it's like it requires a lot. And then like to charm a unit over, your units have to be bigger than whatever you're charming over. Yeah. So it's just like I've seen many people going from a playset to like what's it called 2 to one. I mean, like fair enough.
It's way better than Thwunk though.
Oh yeah, 1000%. Yeah, 1000%.
But I will say, Thwunk I thought was so hot, and then it was like, oh.
It's because of like what I as a Vex player as well. What we found is that stunning an attacking unit just makes it so specific. Sometimes you need to stun a defender a lot of the time. Sometimes like for like green Vexes and stuff like that. Sometimes you just need a what's that called? Sometimes just stunning 2 units on attack is so niche and specific. Yeah. Like back off just does what it needs to do and draws you a card. You just play around that, and you can hide. And the fact that you can hide back off, means that like it's like it's just a power now.
Also worth mentioning, this Vex player was also a Shadow doubter. They do not fuck with Shadow.
I actually like I 100% agree with people who don't fuck with Shadow. I like Shadow a lot, but I can see because he's such a dud draw if you're not ahead.
To be fair, this isn't the classic Vex hold. This is specifically hidden, and when your deck is already so naturally power hungry. I remember I was watching some of the matches. They were not getting to more than 8 runes.
Like I saw it as this is funny because like I also have a hidden Pike deck as my second deck, so it's funny to have like this guy be both my things at the same time. But anyway, I think unlike Teemo, like spending power is like really good in the specific meta, at the sense of that like, you
get to hold mana up.
You get to hold up energy and then go from there, right? But then the downside is obviously that you're de-ramping yourself so much that if your game plan doesn't work out, there's no recovery.
And that's what happened also to the other top 8 player that we wanted to talk about, which was Teemo, who also faced an Aurelia.
Which can I just say, like, I don't care like about like the winnings or that. I am so like guttery excited for the fact that Teemo and Origins like all-star like back in the day.
He was not an all-star. He was like the fifth deck.
No, he was a rogue deck, but he did well. He was doing well. That's a bit like
it was like the 5th best legend.
Yeah.
Which is pretty fair.
Yeah, but then like what's it called?
6th.
Shut up.
Go on. Sorry.
No. You want to speak over me? So no, I'm joking. No, but the fact that he got to top 8. In a surprisingly new meta. I mean, like, to be fair...
with a really convincing score. He was 11-1-1.
Yeah, which is really
insane.
Yeah. I think it's because, again, like, Hidden got, like, it doesn't sound like it, like, it didn't look like it, but Hidden got such a good upgrade.
And I think it mostly also speaks to the strength of purple. This is something we were going to get to later, but only one of the top 8 decks was not on purple.
Yeah, LeBlanc was the only non-purple deck.
So this is showing a few things. First, the purple, kind of like defensive shell, let's just say that, is pretty good, which is the backoffs, the gust, not backoffs, sorry, the
names a green card as the purple.
Sorry, what's it called? Starcrossed.
Starcrossed, Isolate.
Both 2 syllables that you can see. Starcrossed, not Isolate, Abandoned, thingies, the other counter spell, and Gust. Gust being really important in the meta. This is like the defensive purple shell, which is doing really well as like a supporting role for like decks that need stuff to stay on battlefields.
It's just those...
And also... as we've seen from 2 decks in the top 8, the hidden package is really good of like Teemo, Switcheroos, Evelyns, Pikes, Titaners.
Pike Titan.
The whole package of purple hidden is decent. It's strong.
I think like one thing that like amazed me about is the fact that like purple, like even though they lost Fireflight, like a Troy spend that needed to happen.
Rest in peace.
No, it needed to happen though.
Rest in peace, my granny. Sorry, go on.
It like still has like Starcross. Like, even though it's objectively worse than, what's it called, Fireflight, it still acts as such a universal tool. The fact that it has reaction speed, it does cost a power and 1 extra energy, which is very fair. Yep. But, like, it's such a versatile tool at beating this meta specifically. Yeah. Because just the fact that, like, you could just reaction speed this out in response to anything, including units now, it's just like...
And even the stun spell, what's it called? The one in a power that you can repeat.
Despair. Existential Dread.
Existential Dread. Yeah. Existential Dread is
that card is really good. That card is really good. Just 1 in an energy stunner unit is so good, and the repeat cost of just being 2 energy specifically, which I think is a really cool idea. They should do that more with the repeat effects. So the repeat being a different cost. Yeah. Like we saw it like on Syndra and stuff like that. But
yeah, I like that a lot.
But what I'm saying is that purple hold is very good. Purple hidden cards got exponential boost, and like I think it just goes to show that like a color that is just a universally interactive color is just always going to be good, especially in a game that's so tempo oriented. Now I don't
And
know.
it answers threats from all sorts of angles.
exactly.
It answers threats from combat, from spells on the stack. Like it answers everything.
It's just the issue.
It doesn't really have a blind spot.
It's just the issue of like what's it called is that this game is just so tempo oriented. So like a bounce spell, which has been like is not that great in other TCGs, is just so broken in our TCG because it basically turns off that unit for 2 turns.
Yeah.
Because like unless it's like an effect or something, it turns them off for 2 turns.
Yep.
And like in some, if it's a very strong unit, it usually has a power cost. Oh look, they derammed and then they lose a unit. Oh look, they can't play it next turn or whatever. Like with Elder Dragon, for example.
Yes. Yeah.
But
Bounce off bouncing an Elder Dragon.
But do you think this is an issue that needs to be addressed? I don't think it needs to be addressed at all. I can understand everyone's argument of that it's boring.
Yeah.
I can understand that, but it's not. I don't think it is.
It's more of a problem of taking a big chunk of the playable decks kind of out of the picture for the top tier competitive decks. You'll still have a lot of success in your local metas, and you'll still like 3 all your next nights if you're playing like, I don't know, Fiora, Set, LeBlanc. But it's like when you get to these top tier tournaments where it's not about how good your deck is in general, it's just about how consistently you can win, because that's all it is. You just need to win round after round after round without taking a loss so that you can get to top 8.
Purple just gets you there.
Purple gets you there, yeah, that's the thing. Because it's so versatile, it answers everything.
Can I just say that quickly, like, it's how like funny to me that stack deck is still like not a lot of play right now.
That's
It's not
weird.
like it's not like a play set anymore. Of like I was on a playset.
I see the purple decks. I know Teemo isn't on it.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Wait, they might be.
Teemo is on it because I think because they're on Nocturne. Yeah, but if I'm not mistaken.
Wrong, he's not on it.
Is he not?
He's not on it.
He's on Blue Teemo though, isn't it? Instead.
Yeah.
But what I was gonna say is that it's actually kind of interesting the fact that like one energy.
Vex was not on it.
Yeah, Vex is not on it. 100% not. Why would you need to? You draw a stack deck worth of cards anyway.
Diana is.
Yeah. Dana is, yeah. Dana makes sense because they make an energy. But it's just like
free.
My point is that
and
the offset of one energy, off your turn order is very impactful now. Which is what I was gonna like. A big point now is that you need like as a player now in Unleashed, you need to be considerate of the tempo of this game now.
Yeah.
This meta, like again, I might be wrong. But I believe that this meta is very much now got a lot of. There's so many good cards now that most decks are now just the good card decks. Like it's just good stuff. The deck.
There was a lot of decks that are synergy piles. Like LeBlanc's a synergy pile. I really know. Kind of depends.
There's like basically what I found is that like 70% of it is actual like they're like synergy / combo whatever, right? And then 30% is like the good stuff. Cards. Yeah. And so like stack deck, a notoriously very powerful card, it's just a 1 mana off tempo that just potentially draws you a card, which I could see like in these very tight.
I think the deck needs to have the specific slot on the curve for it.
Yeah.
You never want to do it on turn 1. You kind of want to do it on turn 1 if you're on the draw, so you can go stack deck into 2-drop.
Oh, sorry, I'm gonna sneeze.
Yep. Jesus, he's edging us.
No, I'm fine.
But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting development in the meta. I can see why people aren't on it. If your deck already digs enough, or if your deck doesn't have specific pieces it's looking for, your deck is already consistent with like 3 offs of everything, it kind of doesn't have a slot. But the decks that can just run it without much consequence, for example, Diana.
Diana just gets to play for free every turn.
Yeah, exactly.
Because like what I remember we brought this up. It's just when we reviewed it, but it was like one energy. It's just like just because it's in showdown, not just combat. Mm-hmm. It's basically like if you could start a showdown, it's a free energy every turn, and so you could spend your actual energy on a unit or a card that you actually want to develop or hold up, and then you can use your Dana to just be like, oh hey, draw.
Anyway, closing out the top 8, it was Diana versus LeBlanc. The number 1 LeBlanc was actually on baited hook, playing Gallios and Vi's and like big baited hook targets. I don't know why you're surprised. It's good. It's like
I think bait. I'm still a firm believer that bait hook is bait. But I think it's a bait card and like it's a crutch.
I think the reason why it's so good in LeBlanc is because it's a way to force Death Knell when you want it to.
Oh yeah, no.
On your turn, you can force like the Riptide Rex Death Knell, the
just have sacrifice.
Rift Herald Death Knell.
But like you could just have sacrifice on that though.
And you play 3 of them.
Yeah, but I think I understand.
It just goes to show how strong triggering your own Death Knell is in these games.
Okay, I think like Bait Hook is really good in LeBlanc because Death Knell is now an actual strategy because of LeBlanc.
And it makes a lot of sense in how it fits in that curve. So when there's a Galio, you can just go like turn 3, Beta Hook a Galio, kill a...
I'm like...
Bring a Harness Dragon or a Rift
Dude, like I might just be such a chudling, but like fucking this meta sounds so... Like, this deck sounds so fucked. This deck sounds so...
I think it's cool, and I like how it's a synergy pile. Like, it's still running the Catharsis, still running all the Chungus Death Knell creatures, but it's just slop. It's just synergy slop. It's just Death Knell slop with like 1,000 tail, 1 Vi Peacekeeper,
Vi is a weird one.
Blades.
I never like got the hype around Vi.
We will talk about it. It is very good.
We talk about it now. Like, why is it good? Like, because it just stuns a unit on attack. You can't play it defensively.
You don't need to. So there's 2 things. It's really good into the hold decks, or the decks that can try to like tempo hold. Like, it's very good against Yi. I think it just like single-handedly fucks Yi. Unless you're swinging into an open battlefield, which you don't want to do. You want to swing into the Rengar that's defending with like 2-3 units. But the big thing is, it gives you effectively a free conquer, because currently in the meta, people aren't holding with multiple units. There's no Ivern decks. You're just going into like the Yi one, that's just like one guy, or Irelia, which is just Irelia, or Vex, which is like Vex, a Mouser, and maybe some other thing. Maybe against Vex is not the best. But like, you're just going into one unit.
Yeah.
You are conquering. You are like basically guaranteed conquering, and then you are able to most likely, unless your opponent is playing something weird, you're most likely going to be able to untap, move it back, and do it on the next turn.
Yeah.
Which
true.
It's the repeatable. This unit will win you not just one, but if everything goes right, multiple combats. And like when you swing it in, if your opponent has a removal spell, they need to kill it. Yeah, you need to kill it, otherwise it's just going to happen again.
Does it? But like the thing I'm going to ask that is, does it come up that it has ambush? Because it's just for context, it's just a worse like It's a worse Leona technically.
Riddle me. I mean, picture this scene. You are playing against Master Yi, very popular deck. The second, maybe one. Second most played deck in Cine. You are swinging in with your 3 might unit at an open battlefield. Yi has 5 mana open. What else are they gonna do but flash in a Rengar? Rengar is in defending for 8 might. You big brain player that you are, you also have 5 mana open. You swing in you show them the Vi Peacemaker. You win that combat because she's 5 might and you have like 8 might total. Yi has 8 might total, you win.
Yeah, true.
And it's like completely backbreaking because they pay the power cost, they don't have a unit in base, it's very good.
So basically it just comes down to like when you're attacking, it's a very strong combat trick.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
It's an insanely strong combat. It's like Punch Fist if it also stayed around and if it also stunned a defending unit. Think about it. It's 5 might. It's a stick around Punch Fist. It's so good.
It's 5 might and 5 energy, bro. It's not 1 energy comparatively. You can't compare it to Punch Fist.
Yeah, but Punch Fist isn't permanent. It goes away.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter if it goes away. Like, it's done its job for 1 energy.
Speaking of things that do its job, even if you do kill the Vi when she's attacking, she's still already stunned the guy. You can like go like, okay, I'll kill your thingy. Vi's already stunned your dude. The worst case that can happen is your unit bounces off and is
how many Vi's were they on? How many?
They're on 1.
Okay,
they're on 1. But on most other yellow lists, they were on larger numbers. It's become a staple of LeBlanc, I think.
No, I don't agree with that. That sounds nuts. Because Riptide Rex is just better than this card.
And they also have 2 more of them in the fucking sideboard.
Okay. This meta is so like.
It's also seeing play in sets for pretty clear reasons. And I think the yellow sideboard package is kind of like figured out.
It's just 2
it's 2 Vi's, 2 Ashes, or 1 Vi, 2 Ashes, or 1 Ash, 2 Vi's.
Ash is such a cool card.
Ash is a very good card.
Yeah, very good. Especially in this meta with like
when it's so tempo oriented, you can just be like, flash in Ash, take your card so that you can't
flash in Ash.
Or just like play Ash, take your card. You're not gonna be able to hold as long as I can figure out your plan and like play really.
It's really
smart.
good to Elder Dragon, which we could bring up. We could talk about now. Actually, we should talk about like a big point with after Sydney with Aurora being really popular, as well as just people talking about Elder Dragon. There's been a big discussion online about the Aurora Elder Dragon deck.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
I was curious about your opinions because I have my opinions on it, but I'm really
I
curious.
think I know what your opinion is.
Yeah.
I think that it's maybe potentially too strong. We've seen that it's not unbeatable. There, for example, only one, even though it was very popular, only one person managed to take it to top 8 with it in this country, in this RQ. But if we look at the Shenzhou Regional Open, the top 8 was like 2, 3, Auroras? 3 Auroras, yeah, which is less good looking. It's kind of just annoying because it makes that when you play a deck, you have to have a lot of gear hate, but you also have to be able to beat at least one Elder Dragon. 2 Elder Dragons no one beats, but like two, you have to beat at least the first one.
But the thing that like your gear hate thing is that what people have learned is that like gear hate doesn't actually matter most of the time.
Yeah, because they already get the 1 down, and it's like, the game's already over.
You need to stop it before it triggers off, but I don't think there's any card that can do that.
We don't have stifles in our... I mean, we have some. We have, like, the Not So Fast. That's effectively a stifle.
But
that's the one card.
Yeah. Not So Fast beats Elder Dragon's ETB.
Oh! Orange card that is very good against Aurora, which maybe just becomes the Mirror Breaker, but...
Yeah.
Unyielding Spirit. Unyielding Spirit completely counters the Elder Dragon trigger and sometimes wins. 1 mana and a power in orange. You prevent all non-combat damage.
Yeah. That one's really good, actually, yeah. Especially against, like, the...
I remember in the video that I was playing, for my Kazakhs video, I literally...
did someone do that to you?
No, I was playing Kazakhs against Aurora, yeah. And they had their second Elder Dragon, which would have like stopped me from going to 9 points, because I was holding 2 battlefields. And then I was able to counter the trigger, and then my opponent basically loses the game on the spot because I'm at 7 points, and they need to be able to conquer 2 battlefields, which wouldn't be able to happen unless they got the Elder Dragon trigger. Yeah. So it's like really good as a tempo spell. Yeah, but the problem is, if you either don't have it, or you just fall behind on tempo even slightly, like if you're not on 5 points by the time that they have their first Elder Dragon, you just lose. And if you don't have enough units in base, or like just dotted around so that you're not just getting board wiped, you lose. So it's very, very hard to beat. It's not unbeatable, but it's hard to beat.
Yeah. I think like what's a good... I'm going to assume that you think that I think this deck is like way too strong. I don't think so. My actual issue with the deck is I think that there's not too many counterplay around it right now. Yeah. That's my main concern, because Aurora doesn't read play a unit every turn right now. Aurora just reads, I get Elder Dragon a turn before. Yeah. That's how it reads. And it makes the deck super duper consistent. Yep. Because the current version of the list have so much draw, so much like deck thinning and deck searching.
Card
selection that they basically most of the time get it to Aurora or ramp to Aurora, and then just play it, get the Elder Dragon out, and Elder Dragon covers the weaknesses of Aurora. Where like, usually the counteract is okay. I swing at both battlefields. Just farm them. Start holding and farming points off them as quickly as I can. But Elder Dragon beats that because you just permanently lose the unit. And unlike other killing 3 units in this game is so backbreaking. Mm-hmm. So like, even if it only kills 1 unit, it's still like you lost your best unit in most case scenarios.
And it's kind of like, it's not like Kai'Sa where if you just hold your units back, you'll be able to like kind of like save your units and just be able to outvalue them in terms of the stuff that they have to use. Elder is kind of like, even if you deal with the initial trigger by only having 1 unit out, and then you can replay all the units you want after the first Elder. 1, that walks into the second one. 2, it doesn't beat the one that's already there because all their units become Death Touchers now. Yeah,
and it's just like, my issue is just that it's just way too like consistent at what it's doing, and it therefore just leads to most orange decks just being like, okay, why don't you just play this 15 card package and then just add whatever the fuck you want to it. And I think that like that could lead to very unhealthy meta. Now we do obviously like have the purple thing right now, and that hasn't been touched for a while, but like since the last ban. But like I don't think that it should be banned, Because a lot of people are saying that Aurora has the potential to be a ban.
That and the fact that is a big investment for a lot of people. That is this is the most expensive package we got in Riftbound.
From my experience, is that like many people, Aurora was a very cool deck, but just was gatekept because it was expensive, which is a whole can of worms in itself.
Yeah.
But then like now, like it's still an expensive deck,
Is.
but like it's a deck that like you could just bring to our locals and you'd be fine. Because the rest of the deck's just bulk. Like you just buy Aurora and Elder Dragon, which is like 30 to 40 each. I think they've gone up now since.
Maybe. We're also getting restocks of Origins. Maybe that'll bring the price down. But...
No, there's no way.
Yeah.
I don't think it does, because like people are just gonna they're just gonna sell it for what the market is now, and then it'll sell for even more. But what I was gonna say is, I think the deck is just like there's no sometimes they don't get it, obviously, but that happens with nearly all decks. Like a lot of decks sometimes just don't get.
Slightly less.
Yeah, but my point is that every deck has the ability to whiff, so Aurora can whiff. But Aurora's whole thing is that they build their deck in a way where
it doesn't whiff. It's kind of like it's kind of like the Cascade decks in Modern. They're just rigged.
Yeah, they're rigged in a way where they just can't whiff, and then they have like a lot of like contingencies to protect themselves from a hard scenario.
They have ways to stack the deck.
So like for example, Scryer's Balloon, a card that like I played against, for context, I played against two Auroras, one which was a Poppy Aurora, and the one, the actual popular one, was the Severe Pure Dragon Aurora with one Mind Splitter.
Yep.
But the thing I had with it was they had the Scryer's Balloon, which predicts 2 and then draws a card and gets an XP, but doesn't matter. But the idea is that like they can just predict 2, look at the cards.
Yeah, now there's so many consistency pieces. There's Lunar
Bloom's really good.
There's Stack Deck that like there always has been. There's another one.
But then they also have protection in another interesting way as well. They have the protection of if their units do die or they discard them. Yeah, they have lost rights to protect. Which they don't, for context, they don't use lost rights to do the effect.
Hold and do
they
the effect,
just do lost rights. They can recycle the units back into their decks.
It comes up with the champion, because you will want to like play your champion to like kill stuff and like trade if the plan is not going like as perfect as it could. But so there is like the instance where you can bring back the champion. But most of the time, it's just bring back units to the deck so you can keep hitting it.
I will go on a rant real quick on this fucking stupid scenario as well with it. Was that people are like, oh, MF is the best Aurora deck. Nah, in my humble opinion, Civ is the best one. And here's the main reason why. What's Elder Dragon's worst like card? Like right now, what beats Elder Dragon?
Not so fast?
No. Yes, it does, but...
that is the number one thing.
Starcrossed.
Sure.
No, that's the best one. Because you just bounce their unit, you bounce the Elder Dragon to their trigger, and then they just do one, right? The best interaction. Most purple decks can fit it. It's really good, really strong, right?
Fizz package.
So, the issue with it that I found was that, because you bounce their hand, most of the time, if they're MF, they can't play it next turn because they don't have the runes because they played Aurora, or they, or they, what's it called? They just dropped it and then they bounced the hand, so they lost 4 runes, so they can't play it, right?
Yep.
Sivir, because it makes gold and ramps still, they still get to Aurora on the same turn as an MF deck. But then more accurately, what happens is that they just sack 2 gold to play the Elder Dragon. So when you bounce it...
It doesn't do that much.
It doesn't do that much because they don't go to 8 runes. They go to Bomber Cart fucking 10 runes instead for playing it because they used gold. And look, they sack 2 gold. Or they recycle 2 runes to play the Elder Dragon so they get the gold again. And then you're just like in this loop where you're like, I have to bounce Elder Dragon.
You're thinking way too complicated. The biggest reason why Severe is better is because they're a better Sabotage deck. Because Sabotage only deramps them once and then further like power costs are like covered.
Yeah, no, but
whereas MF, every time she wants to sabotage, she has to pay the power. Severe only has to do it once. Like they will only pay 1 power.
My point.
So that's the biggest strength.
No, my point is like Severe protects the Elder Dragon from one of its strongest interaction pieces, which is bouncing it to their
Which
hand.
Sabotage also does. I'm saying sabotage is like the glue.
But glue. Like I like the gold. This gold shit, bro. It's oh my god. Yeah. I just don't like. I don't like playing against this deck only because it's super
boring
consistent
and boring.
It's not that boring. I think there's like.
It is. Like, do you beat them before they get 2 elders down? No, you lose. They don't get 2 elders down, you win.
It might be because I'm playing a deck that has like the most ways to beat Elder Dragon. It might be because of that, because I'm playing Vex. Because I am not so fast. Not Emperor's Divide. What's it called? Starcross, and then I'm on GA now because of this specific thing. Even though I should be on Sonya's. Just as a point. But anyway, I digress.
I think the pack deck I'm running also probably has a really good matchup into Aurora, because you have 3 main deck detonates, which kill the actual Aurora. and also you have 3 of not Starcross,
Yeah, I'm on the-
as well as the Pike Sig, which can kill Elder if it ever goes into a battlefield. So that's that with
because like you need
pretty
to,
good.
because you need to like it's not that important to kill Aurora, even though sometimes it is. But you,
I mean, Aurora offers the deck inevitability, which you need to do if you're a slower deck. But the main thing is killing dealing with the Elder, which you can do. Yeah.
Yeah, but like my point is, I don't think this deck needs to be banned. I think it's annoying and it's really consistent. So I can see the whole issue of like if the meta just folds down to
maybe they'll hit a consistency piece. What do you think that could happen? Like they hit like Scry's Bloom or something like that.
In terms of what do you mean?
If there were bans, but and they didn't want to get rid of the deck, maybe they just hit something to make it less consistent.
They might do that. But then, like, what's it called? It doesn't fit, like, because then, like, the deck would... If we lose, like, the discard or Scry's Bloom tech, which would be really weird because it would only hit that deck, which is actually pretty good to think about. But it just makes the deck more like a gamble deck. And
which effectively would make it worse.
Yeah, it makes it worse. Yeah, 100%.
Make it go down a few popularity points.
Yeah. I don't know. I think, like, personally what I find is I think people are going to find a good counterplay and good like game plan to beat it, because right now it's looking untangible. Like a week ago it looked untangible like to beat, but now like people are putting like Starcrossed in, people are just main decking it now towards it, and it's not. I
mean, there's decks that have a really good matchup into it, like Aurelia, Yi, fucking help me out.
I don't know, bro.
Just those two.
Yeah,
just those two.
I found that any green deck has some good issue of a plan. Anything with orange and yellow is really good because you get access to Sabotage.
I wonder if you have the ability to gain points faster. Like, for example, if you are like green Ari whole deck.
No, you have to be... No, yeah, you know, because it's the same thing as Conquering twice. It's like the same amount of points. The green Ari tech just beats around the Elder Dragon ETB, but that's so specific. But like, I think my point is basically like hand hate is really important, which is why like people are.
Oh yeah, Kha'Zix has a really good matchup.
No, because you get the Sabotage, you get Ash, and then you have that new XP one, the unit.
Investigator.
Yeah. Basically, like
Mind Split if you're crazy.
Yeah, but people are in the route of, hey, we are sideboarding / main decking to beat this deck. So I think that's what's gonna make the deck not like. It's not gonna be like
it's gonna be a meta ebb and flow thing.
Yeah. It's not gonna be. I don't think it's gonna like the only way I can see a card being banned or anything like getting to that level is if it gets to the Draven level or the Kai'Sa level,
which I don't think it will. The deck loses too much to certain matchups.
Oh yeah, 100%. Which is
it's kind of fine.
I think it's annoying to deal with, and I think like it's like.
And some decks you just hard lose to Aurora, which is kind of annoying.
But no, I think that's the one thing that people are gonna hate more is that like it reminds me of do you remember I think we talked about this before in the pod, but do you remember the whole deal with like certain decks, like there's one like there'll be always like is one deck that is not very good in the top tier metas, but in the lower tier it's like it stomps everything. It was like in Origins with like what's it called, Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa was one of the most popular decks. But it wasn't the best deck because Master or Annie like beat it. But like Kai'Sa would smoke everything else. Set 2, it was Aurelia / Draven. Both like fighting for the top spot, but they just smoked everything else underneath it. This set, Elder Dragon might be that deck. Yeah. It might be the deck where it's like it doesn't win top end games. It didn't win the first Unleashed tournament, like the first Western tournament. But it sweeps a lot of the lower tier
bottom
decks. Yeah. Or like if it gets lucky or the opponent gets unlucky, it will sweep a top end deck. But then it just comes to luck / end variance, which I don't really want to think about. Yeah.
Anyway, let's close out the Sydney thoughts. Just so we can like talk about other things because we're at like already 40 something minutes. Other decks didn't really do too crazy. I mean, there was a lot of decks that went like 10-3 or like just barely didn't make top cuts. For example, let's see here, Set 12-2, 9th place.
But I think
Trazy set again, very good, proving to be a very like strong thing if you know what you're doing.
But I think what was it called? I don't know if you were leading to this point, but it seems like to me that Unleashed is just looking very open. Like the fact that the most popular deck was only 7% of the meta.
Day one, LeBlanc being 7% is Oh,
good.
So good.
I think that's really healthy, especially.
This is the most healthiest the meta has ever been and probably ever will be. I think like in a few
I
weeks,
think that's a bit pushing it a little.
In a few weeks, people will figure it out. We're never gonna have a top deck being 7% meta ever again. This is never gonna happen again.
Yeah, true. But I think it's a testament to the fact that like, because again we have so many legends now and people and the whole like pricing system. I think we have to give credit to the fact that that pricing system is so good for the regional play.
And I think is like all these decks that were like in the top 16, they weren't going for no like dinky little metal card. They were playing to win. Like this Draven player who was 7th place. I can't see his deck list, but I'm assuming he was playing to win. The Rengar was 11th place. The first Yi was 12th place, which is crazy because Yi's a really popular deck. Only made it to 12th. But again, 11 and 2 record. Fiora 17th place, 10 and 3. Ezreal 10 and 3, Poppy 10 and 3, 21st.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, Prismat was on Annie. That he was still on Annie. He was 10 and 3. He went 23rd. Just tiebreakers, which is surprising.
It's really cool actually to hear because it just again like pushes the idea in my brain of like I think the meta is very open, and I think that's what we said earlier in the past was that we think the meta is going to be very open, and I think that's good. That's always going to lead to more interesting games because I think the worst thing this game can have is when like you can see in other TCGs when only one deck is viable or two decks are viable. We saw that in Spirit Forge, like in local scene anyway, and in competitive play we saw it with Irelia Draven.
Yeah.
And then now the fact that like we're seeing all of these decks get some level of representation. Do you think it just
and they're not just like good play? I mean they are, but it's not just the players being really cracked at it. It is not just people going for metal cards. It is just generally these decks have a chance. The meta is completely wide open. There's too many angles of attack, which means that too many decks, depending on their pairs and depending on how their tournament history goes, they will do well.
But do you think that the only thing I could see being an issue, just being like a negative Nancy for a second, is do you think then the meta becomes too much of a wild card format in the sense that
Nah, I think the top decks are still stronger.
Yeah.
I think, for example,
so,
there's so many Aurelias in the top 32, like a crazy number of Yis, still a lot of Dianas.
Even though the meta is varied and people actually
there are still decks that are just
better
percentage-wise better.
Okay, because I was gonna say like
it feels like we're in a very big tier 1 and tier 1.5 and tier 2 meta where there's a lot of decks in those tiers. But there's still tiers. There's still the tier 1. Okay. There's still tier 1.5.
Okay. Because I was going to say, like, I don't know about you, but it just sound I could see the POV of, like, it's kind of bullshit where, like, I sign to locals or something, and then I just roll the dice to see what matchups get up. Okay, I get a good matchup. Oh, bad matchup. Oh, look, another bad matchup.
Fuck you, though. That's how it's supposed to be. Like, what do you want? Oh, I'm going to pre-deck and go against 5 Irelias. No. That's shit. You should go into different matchups.
Like, is it like your normal deck? Like, I don't know how to put this well on that.
Listen, you shouldn't have a deck that's good into everything. That's just bad. Like, people say that the best metas are when mid-range is the best because mid-range is just good into everything. I guess. But, like, for the game to be healthy, you do want there to be a bit of a rock, paper, scissors. You do want there to be different strategies that do well into different things. If everything is good against everything... I mean, one, it would just be like come down to player strength, which is cool, I guess. Whatever. Not for me though. I'm a chud. But like,
oh, Jesus,
I killed him. I killed him.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I killed Nathan. But like, I kind of like this. I kind of like the meta.
I like it too. I think that the benefits and then the more the interesting level. It's just gonna I think it just makes it a more fun meta.
Do you want to talk about the other decks that didn't make such a good showing during the tournament?
Oh, well, the decks that did bad.
Relatively bad.
Oh, can I guess what the worst deck was?
Doesn't matter. We're not talking about the worst decks. We're just talking about decks that were looking good and then didn't turn out that good.
Oh.
For example, guess what place the number 1 Lilia was?
Oh, that's a good.
You don't need to get it exactly right. Just get like a ballpark.
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna guess in the 40s, like the 43rd.
A bit better. It was 33rd. The best Lilia was 33rd with a record of 10 and 3. That was a lot of 10 and 3.
Was it a? Well, do you have
the deck list isn't up?
Yeah. But like,
but I remember something. It was just looking like a very average Lilia. It was.
But that makes sense.
Yeah.
I can see that.
2 unchecked powers.
I can see that making sense because what's it called? Because the aggro strategy is very consistent, but then like what we found is that like the aggro strategy kind of folds when you don't have the ability to keep those units, and then card contest like late.
But that's the thing. Lilia circumvents that because they will always have units. The units that they do play, they're kind of just there to close the game or flatten the curve. Like they only play Plundering Poros, Watchers, maybe Sprite Queens if they're feeling a bit fancy.
I saw a lot of lists
the
on
other
like
guy.
1 or 2 Thousand Tail and then 1 or 2 Sprite Queen. Or
Yeah,
like
the Thousand Tails, yeah.
Yeah, but like the thing is that like if you don't have those cards, the deck kind of just like folds out because you don't have a good like top end or late game end to win.
It's just if your opponent can run you out of cards. I think that's the only way you beat Lilia.
True, and I feel like the card draw in this game is kind of getting a bit like it's getting good now.
I remember the matchup I was watching. I don't know if it was the best ofs, but it was Lilia versus Azir.
Yeah.
And it was such a close game, but at the same time, it felt like if Azir was on the draw, there was nothing he could do because Lilia just always double swings every single turn and 90%. And like Azir just can't put the pressure to defend on those battlefields. So he's behind on tempo, and he's also going to try to hold the battlefield when Lilia has tools like Stupefies, Eclipses, disciplines to make their sprites grow to the point where they...
good size,
yeah. And it feels so demoralizing. But I guess it's just not that good into the rest of the field. I don't know.
I think that's the way I view it. Is that Lilia's like?
It feels like if you're playing a combat focused deck, Lilia beats you.
Yeah, but like a lot of the top end decks aren't like that. Like the worst, I think the worst decks are like when they have to just rely on my units have this might, right? And Lilia beats that. Whereas like the top end decks,
I mean. Unless you're Yi.
Yeah, but
no,
but it's in like the raw unit itself.
Yeah.
Whereas like Yi and other decks, they have their tools and interaction to beat that. Like I'm assuming that like Lilia smokes Ivan for like as an example, or Darius for example. Like those matchups will be like their whole deck is like, I just deploy units with a night number. That's it. And then
I wonder how the matchup is against Rengar.
I think it's really bad for Rengar, but that's just me.
I don't know.
Maybe.
We could test it. Anyway, moving on. Kha'Zix, 48th place. That was the best one. Ornn, I was surprised to see that Ornn didn't do better than I thought. I mean, just because the blue-green sprite package is good, but it's just slightly worse Lilia. Best Ornn was 57th, which is still a big improvement.
It's better than what Ornn was in the past.
Way better than the best of Kai'Sa. Guess what best of Kai'Sa was?
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about Kai'Sa. Oh my god. Is it? Oh, I'm gonna be so off. Is it like in the 24th? Like,
we're going down, by the way. We're going down.
50? Lower than that.
69th.
Oh my god, people just don't.
99-4 record, global win rate 50% over 214 matches.
Now I'm really curious. Is it because
they have the number 1 Pike deck? Oh, they did terrible. Long day.
I was gonna say is we can talk about that in a second, but I'm really curious if the like for example the Draven and the Kai'Sa thing is down to player's level or player like ingenuity. Like, are people intrigued to play this deck anymore?
That's a good point.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
do you think it's maybe potentially the meta as well, where I think it's not very good to just be killing units?
Actually, I think Kai'Sa actually does quite a bit worse. I think Kai'Sa is a little bit worse now because there's so much deflect now. There's so much protection and interaction.
Oh, poor Kai'Sa having to deal with a Vex.
I know.
Long day. But my point, I think that it's a mixture of the meta actually. I think it's close to the meta is not that good into Kai'Sa, but also because I think people are just sick and tired of playing that fucking deck. Yeah.
Pike, I want to hit Pike because Pike.
Luckily, we do have the deck list. They're on Ripper's Bay, obviously, the Candlelit Sanctum, and Forbidden Wastes.
What's the battlefields, bro? No, what's the deck?
The deck is very similar to my initial build, which is just mid-range Pike.
Is it on the spirits and all that?
Yeah, they're on 3 spirits. I think you just have to. They're on 2 Fizzes, 1 Ezreal, 2 Sharklings. This is a very big mixture of everything. They have a lot of early units. So they have a lot of the mid-range units. 1 Mind Splitter, 2 Darius, 1 Kai'Sa, 2 Barons, and 2 Cleave, 1 Blood Rush, 1 Abandon, 1 Ride the Wind. This is just a slop. This is slop. This is Pike slop. Yeah. This is what I will now call Pike slop. A deck I haven't come up with before. Because this is very similar to mid-range, but it's not quite mid-range.
Why are we on 2 Barons, bro? Like, we don't have to be on 2 Barons, do we? Like, that could be on 1 or, 1. I think that's enough.
I don't think it sees enough cards on just one. It doesn't see the cards to find it if it's on just 1.
Yeah,
I'm just surprised they're on 2 Windsinger, 2 Inferna,
yeah.
1 Titurner, 1 Pike Dockside Butcher, which is the red one. That's the one they're running.
That's the Chosen Champion.
Yeah.
Oh god.
I think the purple one is for slower game plans. The red one is for mid-rangey, faster game plans. I don't like this deck. I'm gonna be real.
I don't like
it's
this.
too unfocused.
Why
it's
is
too
it-
much of the good stuff,
it's
which
the-
again just goes to show people haven't figured out what to do with Pike. He is wide open. Mostly because people don't want to play it.
Okay, but did he
because
do
it's
worse than
shit.
Kaiser? Did he do worse than Kaiser?
Yeah.
By what? What was his place?
74th. It was
Okay.
5 places lower. 9-4. They both got the same record, 9-4.
Okay.
It was both 9-4. The global win rate was way lower.
To be
though.
fair, like that's a crazy thing to think about is the fact that everyone was on the Spirit Pike tech for a very long time, and everyone thought that was like the best thing in the game.
It depends on the matchup very much.
Yeah, but the fact that like you cannot deny me that everyone was on that deck. Everyone when it first got announced, everyone.
Oh yeah, people were very hyped about.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you Discord.
Yeah, everyone was super hyped about that deck, as well as everyone was all like, "Oh, Pike is the best legend in the deck." Yeah,
That was back in Miracle days. That was back before they
Yeah,
banned
yeah.
the Miracle package.
yeah, true. Yeah, but
If Miracle was still around, don't get me wrong, Pike would be up there.
yeah, actually, yeah, true. I remember when everyone's like, "Oh, this is the new actual Miracle deck."
I kind of want to do an experiment of seeing how Pike plays with all the Miracle package still legal.
Should we do
It would be crazy.
Oh no, but no, you wouldn't want to play that because I imagine Vex with fucking Firefly.
Sounds fun. Yeah, we should do it. We should do
We
it.
should do that. That'd be fun. That'd be a fun video. But you know, like for a deck that got so much hype and like
It did better than
expectancy-
Volibear.
Yeah, 1,000% it does. But I think the thing that interests me, like I think it's just like the decks that got hyped or that I think that aren't seeing play. They're just not
Man,
seeing play.
not Annie, Ari did fucking awful. 120
Ari's
something.
so bad, bro. Ari's
Yeah,
really good.
I can't believe I was an Ari Cobra back in the day.
For context, I remember Sam. You were like,
I was gonna play Ari. I was gonna play Ari.
Because I think it was because of Vex. Because I was playing Vex so much, and then you were like, "Oh, let me try a cool version of Vex Ari," and I'm like, "Actually, Vex is the cool version of Ari." That's the
Yeah, and then there's just a bunch of decks that did really shit. I think we're done with Sydney.
Yeah.
Let's go look at Soju. Sujo.
In the last like 10 minutes, look at China.
Yeah, let's look at China. So it was Master Yi first place. I watched the game against Irelia. It just came down to whoever fucked up the most.
Who won? I don't actually know.
It was Master Yi. Master Yi won versus Irelia.
What was it? Numa? Oh, I'm assuming
Old, yeah. And this was mid-range Master Yi. They were a bit more
No, I mean,
top-heavy
it's actually
focused. They
quite-
were on 3 tasties, 3 Valmons.
I will say quickly that I like that the old Master Yi is seeing play because of the new Master Yi champion unit.
Yeah.
That's like.
I mean, I remember Tom back in Origins. He played Master Yi. He was just saying, "Dude, this deck would be so good if we got a real champion to play." And guess what? You got a 4-cost 4 like no power. That's as good as you can get.
Yeah.
Fuck all it does. It doesn't matter what it does. All it does is it plays on curve.
Yeah, I think like it's actually kind of crazy to me that like the Riot could just decide like, oh, this deck, do you want this deck to be meta relevant? Okay, 4 cost a champion unit, no might power.
Yep.
Done.
Done.
Like, it's a 4 might, 4 cost 4 might, done.
And both Yi and Irelia had to beat 1 Aurora deck each to make it to the finals.
And they did.
Yeah, there was a Poppy and a Savior 4th place. And then
Sorry, Poppy. That's so funny.
it's just a good deck. And then 2 Ezreals, 5th and 6th. Stupid Chungus Ezreal. Then another Irelia, then a Savior, and a 9th place Kai'Sa. Very different showing than in Sydney. This guy played Kai'Sa and got 9th place. Didn't win, but impressive nonetheless.
But was there a Vex? There's no Vex. I just realized. No Vex.
Not in the top 8.
Top 16?
Let's see. So then it was Kai'Sa, Yi again, Misfortune, Kha'Zix for some ungodly reason, Irelia, Vex in 14th,
Okay.
followed by a Rek'Sai and a Pike. This was a way more diverse top 16, I have to say.
That's actually kind of.
No Diana. 0 Diana.
So.
And no LeBlanc either.
That's actually.
This is crazy. What are they doing in
I
China?
don't know. Like they're trying. Like we can't. Like we can't take the. We have to take it with a grain of salt because their meta is very different and what they decide to play there. Like for example, like I think a lot of these decks don't do very well if there was more LeBlanc players. If there's more LeBlanc players, then this meta looks kind of whack. And I think.
But maybe there were LeBlanc players, they just weren't on the hook version.
Yeah, no, but like true, but like I think LeBlanc is a very good deck, and LeBlanc,
100%.
and I don't know what's like in the East, but in the West, it's seeming like a very popular deck. A lot of people want to play it.
LeBlanc, I remember I was playing my control Pike against LeBlanc, and it felt so hopeless. Like, there's no point trying to outgrind or control LeBlanc. She will always outgrind you because it is the best attrition deck. It's not Pike, not by a long shot.
Yeah.
LeBlanc will out attrition you.
Yeah, always.
My only shot was trying to get an on-curve Bewitching Spirit to try to repeatedly discard them before they were able to get the Karthuses and the like engines rolling. But if they ever get the engines rolling, you're not controlling
because
them.
their engine is I kill your units and I draw loads of cards. So that's not.
Yeah.
And then they have resurrection units to like bring their units
everything
back.
Yeah, you're not gonna outgrind. You can out aggro and you can out hold LeBlanc. You cannot outgrind them. So Pike is a long day matchup, which makes me want to play aggro Pike in case that becomes like LeBlanc does become really prominent.
I'm actually like we could touch on this a tiny bit. Is the fact that like we've both decided our decks. I've decided I'm playing Vex and you are playing.
Yep, we've mentioned this. I'm playing Pike.
Yeah, so like it's actually like we'll probably make coverage on this later in the pod and for videos too.
Yep.
So stay tuned for that. But I'm excited to see how our decks fare or change based on the meta because I don't know about you, but I'm sticking with this deck till like the end of Unleashed.
Same. And I'm kind of cheating because Pike, I will be able to play like 6 or 7 different decks because Pike is so unsolved.
Okay, I think we.
No, but like for example, this week I'm bringing Control Pike with the Detonate package. Next week I'm probably gonna do aggro. I'm at some point gonna do the Draven Pike. I kind of want to try Hidden Pike at some point. I'll just borrow your cards.
I have that as a meme deck. It's so funny.
It's not good.
It's okay.
It's
okay.
Okay.
I mean, the new I haven't actually tested my new version. Yeah, and my new version actually looks pretty good.
Sure.
But you know.
I want to try a dedicated ramped version. There's so much shit I want to try with Pike.
And I'm just Vex.
But Vex has different ways you can play it.
I want to try the. I was talking about this the other day. I actually want to try the Diana variant with 3 Diana.
Yeah.
But my card draw is Stelacorn Herder.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, so then I have because then I can make.
You can run Desert Skulls.
I can run Desert Skull, but then the big one I can run is Ride the Winds, as well as it makes the
Siren. You could also run the Siren.
Siren on guard discipline. Like I think with a Stelacorn Herder, which gives my deck the ability to draw cards.
This might be burning the dish, but how about the Ancestral Masks?
That card is bad.
Yeah.
That card is bad.
Yeah.
I mean, but anyway.
It's time to wrap this up.
Well, we talked about quite a bit today.
Thank God.
Sydney, Unleashed though, very cool.
Unleashed is looking so high.
Good.
They fixed the game.
They fixed the game.
I don't know what could happen. They need to massively fumble something, change the rules or something, but it's looking like, unless Aurora becomes the definitive best thing to do, which it won't, this is going to be like a 10 out of 10 set for me.
I think
9 out of 10 set for me.
I think it's because they bunker down on the fact that Legends are flavorful and the cards are good. There's a good blind, and I think that's the best thing to do. But anyway.
Let's hope that Pike isn't forever stuck in the 1 and 2 jail.
Yeah. And let's hope that Vex is the best deck. But anyway,
thank you guys for watching.
Thank you
see
for
you
listening,
next week.
And we'll see you next week. All right.
Kisses.
Kisses. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.